Hey, beauties. So we're back with book two. So we left off of Noxie getting kidnapped and Soul being shot in book one, right? So, welcome to book two. So Noxie saw the car's license plate after the shooting, and ironically, it read Zaid. Are we surprised? No, because that nigga got real issues, y'all. So what happened from her point of view is when Soul got shot, she went into the mansion while the Wild Boys were working on Soul, and the waiter told her that she looked parched. So he handed her some water. After taking some sips of the water, she felt drowsy, which is how she got kidnapped because the water was already open when he gave it to her. Little blonde moment for her, but So Zayd, his issue is that he feel like Noxie ruined his life by sending him to jail for the shit he did to her. Narcissistic behavior, right? So when she was kidnapped and she was with him and she realized that it was actually him that did it, which she already thought. So anyway, after seeing the car, he put drops in her ass. He felt as if she needed to suffer more than she already had, which dude ain't even do half the time that he was supposed to have did anyway. So, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He then stuck her in the arm with a needle, causing her to feel out of her body. So she was thinking about the love of her life, but the more she thought about him, the further away it seemed to get as these drugs took an effect on her. I just want you to keep that in mind because it's very important. She said she kept hearing Walker's name in the distance until she could no longer remember his name. So not only did she no longer hear it, but she couldn't even remember who Walker was. So Wave, his crazy happened. Meanwhile, we back on Soul being shot. So Wynn had told Wave that it was no pulse. She was gone. Wave ain't going for that. If y'all know Wave ain't playing about his soul. You know what I'm saying? On period. So he held his brother at gunpoint for him to find a pulse. So then Lindsay steps in to help save Soul. Wynn and Lindsay go back and forth over Soul's care, and then she jumped into action to finish the procedure that Wynn was starting. She felt like he was taking too long, which pissed Wynn off because he felt like you're supposed to follow a certain protocol, a certain order for things, and she just didn't do it. So as soon as Soul gets stable, Wynn beat the shit out of Wave. Like, he whipped his ass. Fucked him up real bad. Really, really bad. But he deserved it because you don't put no gun to my head threatening to kill me. So Wynn and Lindsay continue to argue back and forth when they get in the house. And Wynn is so emotionally detached. Like, he does not deal well with emotions, with crying and all that. And Lindsay starts crying because she is concerned about Soul, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And he just completely walks away. And in that moment, they realized Noxie was missing. So in the process, Walker gets a text telling him someone has Tippy, a.k.a. Noxie. So Lindsay told them that she was going to ride. So they thinking, like, you just a nurse. What you ride with us for? And she showed them that she was about this street life, like, sisters down, you know what I'm saying? Which then won her some cool points with Wynn because Wynn was like, look, sis trying to go. So they end up tracking her phone, thanks to Lindsay giving them advice to do so. And they found Noxie in, like, a warehouse, tied up, which was weird because, like, you kidnapped her, but then you let her go. Like, what was the point in that? That's basically what my mindset was as a reader, and their mindset was as the characters in the book. But when Walker approached her, she was on the defense. Like, don't fucking touch me. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are you? Like, just like, they were complete strangers. Like, it was weird. So they decided to take her to the hospital to get her checked out. And on the way to the hospital, Lindsay is just constantly trying to tell her, like, this man is the love of your life. He had just proposed to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not the enemy. It's no point in you being scared of him because he's really not here to hurt you. But then they go from, Maggie, remember she's a virgin, so they go from beefing in the back seat because she don't know who he is. So now she want him to take her right then and there in the back seat, like, bonkers. So while all this is taking place, their stash house was hit. Nothing was taken though, because they be having the money in different places. You know what I'm saying? So the assailants were captured, and come to find out, guess who they were kin to? Zayd, right? Zayd is just in the fucking way, but Zayd was not with them. Zayd also did not shoot Soul. He paid 2 guys to drive his car, which is why the car had his license plate on it, and get the deed done. And they were told that if they couldn't shoot Noxie, to shoot Soul. The reason being is because this nutcase feels as if it wasn't for Soul breaking Noxie's fall, then Noxie would have died. And none of this would have been going on. He wouldn't have went to jail and all that. Bonkers, yo. So Wick told Walker that he knew what Noxie had been given, and it's called Cupid's Curse. So it makes you forget your true love. So every memory that she had with Walker was replaced. So like she thought that when through her birthday party, she thought her dad bought her a car. Like none of this was supposed to be Walker's doing. She don't even remember their first undates. She don't remember none of that. Like all her memories were replaced, or it ended differently, which is super, super weird. But Walker's like really fucked up in the head beside it. But it is a cure for it, and it's a cure that's being created, so it hasn't been formulated yet. And so Wick told him, Wick said, you're going to have to stay away from her, because the more you try to push this thing to show her who you are and make her believe that you're her true love, she's going to hate you more. And it's going to be hard to get the good memories back if you do that. And then after she gets the first injection, because it's like 3 shots, so after she gets the first injection, you got to stay away from her for 2 more weeks. You know what I'm saying? After the injection is in her, to make sure. But the stronger the love, the easier it is to regain the love that you had. But in the meantime, love is replaced with lust. Temper tantrums, dormant personality traits become dominant personality traits. So she was experiencing all that, which is why she wanted to have sex with him in the car. So they end up snatching up Let, hoping to find Zayd. Because the one thing she could tell him was, Zayd took me. Like, this was all Zayd's doing. So she came more than willing to help. Let is over Zayd's shit. Like, first of all, she's out of jail, but she's pregnant again, y'all. Baby number 2 by Zayd. You know what I'm saying? So she told them that Zayd was paid to throw the Nationals. So that's how all of this started. So if Zayd was able to throw Nationals, he was going to get money. He was supposed to do a misstep to throw off their points. But being that Noxie was accusing him of rape, that made it so that he had to silence her. So that's what changed the whole trajectory of everything. She told them that Zayd had been watching all of them, and he owes some people money, and he wants to kill Walker. He threatened her grandparents, and is mean to their son that they have together, but she is carrying his second child, y'all. Like, that's the, you know what I'm saying? So nobody believes that she's being held against her will, because Walker and them like, you go to work every day, you return home, you know what I'm saying? But she's like, he's threatening my people. Like, I'm doing what I have to do to make sure everybody's safe, you know what I'm saying? And plus, everything that she owns is in his name, and he takes her paychecks. So what she wants in return for helping them find Zayd is she wants the Wild Boys to help her relocate so that no harm can come to her family. But currently, Zayd is with Jimmy, the coach, out of the country. Convenient, right? So Zayd blames Noxie for everything that happened to him, and he loves her, though. So he hates her, but he loves her, and he has this fantasy that they will live together happily ever after. Him, Let, and Noxie. Crazy, like, crazy. This dude is losing his mind. Like, completely bonkers, y'all. So stay tuned for Book 2, Part 2.